Welcome back. Final segment here of A to Z on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Again, give us a follow on Twitter at Locked On ATL. I'm at Mark Zinno, MarkZinno. Before we get to a very detailed movie review, time to hand out Shovel of Wisdom.
Brace yourselves, because it's time for the Shovel of Wisdom.
Hey, you know how we do it every day. We have to set somebody straight for saying and doing something stupid. We do it right here on A to Z. You can do it on my Twitter account as well. Just use the hashtag Shovel of Wisdom. And today, my shovel goes to the Chicago Bears. Why the Chicago Bears? But I was not aware of this. I knew the Bears were searching for a new stadium. I knew they wanted to get out of Soldier Field. I knew that they had. I had seen just the headlines and everything that they were looking to do it, and I get it. Look, nobody should be in an outdated building anymore. I've said for years, like Wrigley Field and Fenway Park need to be torn down and rebuilt. They're old. They're disgusting. You can't keep putting lipstick on a pig. Nostalgia, you know what? If you can rebuild Yankee Stadium, you can rebuild anything. That's just my opinion on the whole thing. So all these old, dilapidated buildings, either need a major facelift. But if you're going to spend, $500 million for a facelift, just spend the full $1 billion and get a brand new building. That's just the way I look at it. Like investment-wise, it makes more sense. So nonetheless, I knew the Bears were going to be looking for a new stadium. I knew they're going to be building one. I remember seeing the headlines that there was some contention about how they were going to pay for it, and they were going to move to this place called Arlington Park and Arlington Heights. I don't even know where that is in Chicago. But I saw today that they want to build a 326-acre development property, just similar to what we have in the Battery here in Atlanta. Something like that, mixed-use development, entertainment district, bars, restaurants, shops, everything. They want to build a dome, though. They're going to put it in a dome. Like, the Bears playing in a dome? The Ice Bowl? The Fog Bowl? Like, it's the Bears. Don't they have to play outdoors? Shouldn't they be playing outdoors? I feel like I'll get over it, okay? And I just said a moment ago, nostalgia be damned. Nostalgia be damned. I get it. But there's two things here. One, again, the Bears, at least, we always talk so much about team identity on this thing. Part of their identity was always their defense and being tough, right? The Bears are always a tough team, at least when they were good. It's hard to be tough, 72-degree perfect weather with no wind. Part of the Bears' toughness was the weather. Like, that was part of who they are. And I get it. You want to be able to host a Super Bowl, a college football playoff, and a Final Four, and you can do all those things in an indoor dome stadium because it's 8 degrees in Chicago when all those things are played. I get it. There's also 4 feet of snow on the ground. I get it. But, I don't mind them leaving Soldier Field. It's weird to me. I think it should be weird to everybody. And the other thing, too, is that there is now this kind of seismic shift in the NFL to put more teams in domes than anything else. And that weather element of the game that you're taking away, because the only open air stadiums now are going to be warm. Look, Minnesota went to a dome. Minnesota always wasn't a dome. But Chicago has one. I mean, the only outdoor stadiums that are bad now, still in bad areas, Patriots, Jets, Giants, Seattle. You're not really looking at many other. Cleveland, I guess, is another one. Pittsburgh is still open. But anyway, I'm getting hung up on it. I don't know why. But regardless, it was something to me that struck me as like, man, the Bears are going to play in a dome. Never would have thought it. Okay. Last night, I finished the Manti Teo documentary on Netflix. Untold, I think it was, and the girl who didn't exist or whatever it was called. And, and I tweeted out last night my thoughts on the end of it. Like, it was, to me, a very telling second episode as the whole thing unfolds on Manti Teo, that he got duped and everything else. And here's the thing, folks. Two things can be true. Manti Teo can be a little bit naive. That doesn't make him a bad person. That doesn't make him stupid. It doesn't make him the bad guy for falling for somebody who had nothing but malice intentions from the start. Renaya, or whatever his or her name is now. I'm sorry, forgive me for not understanding the proper pronoun terminology thing, but whatever. Um, Renaya went into it with nothing but ill intentions, with nothing but malice. And he went out to fool somebody and he did it. And that is not Manti's fault. Should Manti have checked and double checked and been a little bit more aware? Sure. But, it's fair to say that my perception of Manti Teo was somebody who was a little bit shy, a little bit out of his element, and found some solace in a name, or I shouldn't say names, a faceless individual who he could connect with easily and allow himself to be opened up to other places and other things around that campus that he wasn't able and willing to do. And I think that's fair. And in this era of, mental health is everything and, kind of deal, that was his mental health outlet, was his alleged girlfriend. It was not his girlfriend. So I still have more anger about Renaya and what she did, what his intentions were from the start. That bothers me more than anything. I think Manti is a good dude. I think, yes, he got duped. He had someone who was a very bad person do something very awful to him. And unfortunately for Manti Teo, it ruined his football career. That's the only thing you can hold Manti accountable for, is letting it ruin his career. I think that is, athletes can compartmentalize and they can, and I'm not saying he's not tough or anything like that, but clearly he shows you how mentally it tore him apart. And it wasn't that he got his heart broken or anything like that. It was that he got duped and that he was made a fool of. And the embarrassment of that nationally is what tore him apart inside. And that was the other takeaway, man. We are a mean freaking society. We are the stuff like this brings out the worst in America. It does, because every news outlet, and they played dozens of clips, every news outlet, every anchor, every talk show host, everybody took shots at the kid, myself included, when it had happened. And we all owe him an apology. I owe him an apology. Manti Teo, I apologize. I was mean. I was wrong, and I should have been a better person in that moment. It was easy for me to take shots at you, not knowing you and understanding who you are. Now that I do, at least understand a little bit better, this wasn't your fault, man. It wasn't. When you have somebody with those level of detailed intentions to go out and do this, man, and Renaya could have stopped it at any point and chose not to. That is intent. That is malice. That is just pure evil. That's what it is, man. I mean, I don't need to sugarcoat it. He was doing something he knew was wrong, who knew would hurt somebody, and 100% was going to affect him, and never did anything to stop it. Yeah. I mean, that's what it boils down to for me. So I know there are people, and people disagreed with me. Oh, Manti was in on it. And I mean, that's just ridiculous. Why would the guy be in on something that ruined his career? Makes no sense. The guy was way too fragile emotionally to be in on any of this. It's just obvious. All he wanted to do was fit in somewhere and find some comfort emotionally, which he never found at Notre Dame. And you could go back to and at least say that, if he had played at USC, would things have gone down different? I think so. They would have. But still, this is a scenario where, if he doesn't go down this path and doesn't have this individual willfully try to hurt him, I think we have a different ending for Manti Teo. And I hope he's found peace. I really do. I genuinely hope he's found peace in his heart. He deserves it. He does. He got dealt a really bad hand, and it played poorly and blew up in his face. So, thought the documentary was good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Hope I didn't give too much away for you. I'm sure you know how it ends, regardless. All right, that'll do it for us here on A to Z on this Wednesday. Back tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful day. Don't take any crap from anybody.